What is the mission that you're on?
Well, today, a few months ago, the WHO or the World Health Organization made a prediction that there is going to be a mental health pandemic. At least 5 years ago, none of us knew what is a pandemic. Today, we all know what is a pandemic. And they've gone further and they said the next stage is there will be a suicide pandemic. Just to put it in perspective. In 2020, when the pandemic was in full swing all over the world, in Japan, more people died of suicide than of the pandemic. So we don't really need the virus, that's all I'm saying. Because the virus has gotten into our head, because once survival is taken care of, if you do not become conscious, the way you sit, stand, breathe, think, emote and function within yourself, if it does not become conscious, you will naturally head downhill. This is just September 23rd, I completed 40 years of this work. So 40 years ago, I was a young man. One afternoon, when I had nothing much to do, somehow an hour and a half gap was there for me in the work. I was working like morning, 5:30 in the morning to 11 in the night, building various kinds of businesses around me. So when I got a break, there's a small hill. This hill is a place where we go and for the youth. When I was a kid, I cycled up this hill, we camped on this hill, we partied on this hill. If you want to test our motorcycles, we went up the hill. Just about anything you want to do, the youth, go to Chamundi Hill. This is the thing. I just walked up and sat on a rock. My eyes were still open. I thought it's just 10, 15 or 20 minutes. Suddenly I started feeling every cell in my body literally dripping ecstasy. I thought this lasted 15, 20 minutes, but when I came back to my normal senses, 4.5 hours had passed. For the first time in my adult life, tears, me and tears were simply impossible. Tears to a point my shirt is all wet. Then I shake my skeptical mind and ask what the hell is happening to me. All I knew was I had hit a gold mine and there was no context. Nobody around me could tell me what was happening with me, nor did I know what was happening with me. This is something that most people will experience in their lives. On a certain day when they're very happy, 24 hours feels like 10 minutes. Another day when you're depressed, 10 minutes will feel like 24 hours. Time is a very relative experience. When you're so blissed out, what is 2 minutes? It's 8 hours, 10 hours, just gone like that. So in about 6 to 8 weeks, I came to some kind of stabilization within myself and started experimenting as to what is happening to me. Then I realized, if I keep a little distance from my physiological and psychological activity that's going on, if I just remove myself a little bit, then within a few seconds or within a couple of minutes, every cell in my body is bursting with ecstasy. Now, this is not just my experience. Today we have it measured out in Harvard Medical School, how there is endocannabinoids are bursting out in people simply because they do a simple practice. So I made a plan in 2.5 years' time, I will make the whole world blissed out. I knew the methodology. If you just keep a distance, it'll happen. 40 years now. Today, people are saying we are touching over 2 billion people. Last year, our video views have been 3.51 billion. So, people think that's great. But no, that is less than half the population as far as I'm concerned, because I started thinking I'll make the whole world blissed out. But people are committed to their miseries, either because of their beliefs or their ideologies or their compulsive behavior within themselves. So, it needs to happen to the whole world. I don't see this as a mission, I just see this as an expression of my humanity. Suppose you hear a good joke. Will you tell somebody who's dear to you, or will you cover yourself with a blanket and tell yourself?
Of course, I'd tell everybody.
Yeah.
Pretend it was mine.
That's all I'm trying to do. No mission.
When
My
you…
experience, I'm trying to just rub it off on people. So you can think that survival means 2 meals a day. Or you can think survival means Bentley. So it'll keep you busy a little longer. Still survival process. As long as the survival, there's an instinct of survival and there is a longing to expand within the human being. So, for most human beings, these two things are mixed up. It is their instinct of survival which is finding expression as their longing to expand. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, anybody. You want to be something more. If that something more happens, you want to be something more. You can go on like this, how much more? Whatever you want, if I make it true for you right now, next moment you will be thinking, what more? Suppose I make you the king of, not England, the planet. Don't look at me hopefully. I will not commit such a blunder. Suppose we make you the king of this planet, will you be fulfilled? No, you will look at the moon, you look at other planets, you look at the other galaxies. If I give you one galaxy, you'll say, what about the other galaxy? Because there is something within a human being which wants to expand limitlessly.
Is that not a good thing? Is that not the reason why…
I didn't say it's not good. I'm just saying you have constipated that longing to expand. That's why you suffer. When I say constipated, right now you want to expand limitlessly. Can you expand this body limitlessly?
No.
Please don't. Don't try.
In the gym I've tried, but…
So physical expansion is a limited expansion and your longing is to expand limitlessly because there is something within you which doesn't like boundaries. The moment, see, if I imprison you in a 5x5 cubicle, you will feel terribly imprisoned. Then tomorrow I will announce your liberation and release you into 10x10 cubicle. You will feel wonderful for 2 days. Then you will feel horribly imprisoned. Then we will release you into a 100x100 cubicle. You will be fine for a week, after that you will feel miserable. Doesn't matter where I set the boundary. Once you feel the boundary, you want to break it. So there is something intrinsic within you which doesn't like boundaries. This is a consequence of the evolution that you've gone through. Once your cerebral cortex flowered, now you don't like boundaries. But you're trying to expand in an infinite way by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you ever count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and one day say infinity?
No.
You will only get into endless counting. That's all that's happening. That's why I said your longing to expand is a limitless process. But right now you're constipated. You're going one little step at a time. Constipation means just this. It happens little by little. You must expand. What is the means to become a boundless expansion? If you look at that, then we say consciousness. This is what raising human consciousness means. Because you realize physical expansion is not a realistic thing. We can make physical arrangements as we want, as we need for our convenience and comfort, but that is not the way to expand. Expansion needs to happen in a way that it's not physical in nature. Then you can also own the universe, I can also own the universe.